2006. You moved in with Steph, bro.
Yep.
Went to high school. What was that whole experience like, man, when you made that jump?
Yeah, man, to be honest with you, so if I could take it back just a little bit, '06 was a transitional period for me as far as like basketball was concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I was with y'all at Forest City, and I was kind of coming into my own uh at with the Heat. Funny enough, I remember driving up with Ish. So we would meet Ish's dad, drive up to Forest City, um, and do that. And to be honest with you, I bring that up because when we were that period is when I was coming into my own. Right,
Yep.
I was getting seen as a top prospect in Charlotte, and my mother knew Dell pretty well. Like I had played with the Stars before coming to Forest City Heat. Knew Dale pretty well, and when probably like you said, '06, there was a lot of private schools kind of going around during that time.
Yep.
I was going to, I want to say like Cannon, Latin, Providence Day. You've seen a lot of prep schools coming up, Laurinburg,
Yep.
Oak Hill, Mount Zion. And Dale got wind of it, and he was like, yo, bring him over to Charlotte Christian. Like, you're not going nowhere else. And it was interesting because Dale had always played kind of that role, if you will, in my life. Like I had my father in there too, but when it came to
Of
like
course.
basketball, he was kind of that unspoken mentor, if you will. And I pretty much just knew, he was raising Seth and them right, and pretty much the whole organization. It was interesting because, going from going to, I guess I won't say regular school, but Dale was playing for the Hornets, playing for the Raptors. So I always classified as like a 2-year sleepover. So what ended up happening is I ended up going to Charlotte Christian. My parents were going through some stuff, so I actually started living with them. And so for about a year, 2 years, I started living with them, and I'm joking to say that's pretty much, a long 2-year sleepover. It was pretty cool.
Well, let me ask you this: what were some of the roles that Steph's dad played? Like I know y'all couldn't. There were no cell phones. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Was there a certain time y'all had to go to bed because he
Yeah.
understood? Like, listen, this is what y'all need as athletes. What y'all need to eat. What was that whole regimen about? Because that's a whole, I say, NBA dad kind of giving y'all game because he's done been there. You know what I'm saying? What was that role
I'll
like?
tell you a story, and this will give you kind of So it was one. I think this was after homecoming. There was a rule in the house: whatever grade you were in, that was your curfew. And I remember being there. This was my mindset, just kind of being a knucklehead. I'm like, I'm here, but I don't. I ain't gotta do that.
Yes.
It's the wrong thing to do. So Steph's a senior. I'm a junior. Steph is a sophomore. Respectfully, Seth used to always go against the grain. We ended up leaving back out the house. So before we left or whatever, we kind of like, man, what we gonna do? I don't think he get mad at me telling the story. Was Steph had a banana in his hand. He throws it against the against the door, and then we gotta wipe that off. Like we can't don't. So he's up wiping it off because we don't want to get in more trouble. Leave, go back. It's like 1:00 in the morning. And I can't remember if the alarm was on or not, but we walk in the house, and the way Dale's house was set up was, or Dale, sorry, excuse me, was there was when you walked in the front door, it was almost like a walkway. So
Yeah.
you look up, you can see like a bridge going from his room to like Sadel's and the steps, and it was long too. So we're walking in trying to be quiet, and all I see is Dale walking across the little walkway, and I'm just like, I look at Seth, I'm like, bro, let's go in the playroom and let's act like we've been playing pool. Man, Dale laid into us. Like, and the way he's like, look, and he looked at me like, if you're gonna be here, you're gonna you're gonna follow the rules.
Hey, at that time, Steph, he took some time off as far as travel ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you caught him when he was taking that time off and y'all was just training, you know what I'm saying, man? So you caught him at a good time with him doing this thing, man. Because we never thought. I mean, he could shoot the ball all the time, but
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't see where he was going
Right.
with that. Like this whole how he started shooting off the dribble is what really separated himself. Dog, goodness gracious, bro.
Man, he was so to be clear, and that's my fault. So
Yeah.
when he was transitioning, like changing his shot, kind of going through that, I was going into his junior year, I
Mhm.
believe. I came in like right after that.
Gotcha.
So he was a senior, I was a junior. We really like that's when I really immersed myself kind of into their world. It was interesting because like even the workouts, um, I had never been accustomed to.
Mm.
I so Dale was on the coaching staff, so it was Coach Brown, Dale, Houston, Coach Houston. Forgive me for I'm blanking on his name right now.
Good.
Um, but just that whole situation at Charlotte Christian, he literally treated us like professionals, but also like we were a college team. And I had never been accustomed to that, not coming from public school.
Right.
And we acted accordingly, and we won accordingly. To be honest with you, like I said, we didn't go to the state championship, but I mean, when we went to the state championship, we didn't win. But it was a good it was like I said, it was a good transition. My freshman year, going to my sophomore year, uh, went to Florida, and Donovan, the coach there at the time, was like, Omar is the most underrated freshman, blah blah blah. Got back to my mom. My mom, because I always wanted to go to NC State. My mom called NC State, but NC State coach was real cool with my coach at Charleston Southern.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls me in the office, like just kind of went off, like you trying to leave, like basically scared me in the stand.
Mm.
Had a sophomore slump, but I was still able to, because of Dale, I got a scholarship at App,
Mm.
and I don't think a lot of people know that story. But I was at Charleston for a year. Did well sophomore year, still did decent. I told my mom, look, I'm trying to get out of here. I was out honestly real close with Mac. So I think at that time, Memphis had went crazy. I think they went to like the national championship. He left to go to Houston. I'm like, I'm about to leave and try to go to App. Took a couple visits. I'm actually going down 85 South, get a phone call from Dale. Mom put me on the phone with Dale. She's like, look, like, Buzz Peterson about to call you. You ain't going nowhere else. When he called you, basically act accordingly. He didn't say it like that, but
Right.
picked up the phone with Buzz. I'm like, all right. Well, Dale said I'm going to App State. I'm going to App State. And that's how I got to App.
Man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Because let me ask you this.